Welcome to our first ECC podcast. Today we are going to talk about document controller role. Document controller is a very important part of any construction or engineering project, but often it's not a very well-known role. So I'm happy to have today with me Cécile Le Cerf. Hi Cécile.
Hi.
And we will gonna discuss about this role in detail and what collaboration solution can bring to this role. So Cécile, can you tell me a little bit about your background?
Yes, I'm a document controller since 2 years in the water industry. And before that, I was working for electricity company. And I was also working before as a document controller in a nuclear project. I studied information sciences in the university, and my first job was in this nuclear project. So since this first job, I'm still working in the industry.
Can you tell us more about what's a daily life of a document controller?
Control is to manage all the documentation from the employer and then to manage all suppliers' documents. It is managed through a tool, a document database that helps to follow all the flows of documents between all the entities of a project. And then the daily task of a document controller are to check the documents, the format, the date, the revision, etc. There is no any checking of the content of the document. It's only the data about the document that are checked. Then we have to record the document in the database, to transmit it to the right entity and to the right persons. And then we need to follow the commands on each document. Those tasks are the main task of the document controller. But then before those daily tasks, we have to well prepare the implementation of the document control on the project before the tool implementation. So we need to put in place a list of documents, then to update all the procedures about document control with all the flows of documents, to define all those flows of documents, then to define each types of documents and the codifications. Those tasks are very important before the implementation of the tool. And then what is also important is to have a follow-up of all the documents transmitted during the project. That is the last task, very important.
Okay, so I think it's a very complete job and you are involved in the whole life cycle of a document. So I think, yes, it's a very, very central and capital job on project. You are the heart of the document management of the project. So yeah, it's pretty big role.
Yes, it's a lot of work.
And such as document management solution, be it internal document management solution or full web-based document management solution, because I guess you already use both of this type of solution. How this solution were able to help you in your daily work?
I think it's we can't separate the document control activity to the tool, because we can't manage a lot of documents without this kind of tools, because we need to have an history of each document to be sure that the last revision is accessible. Sometimes we need to manage a lot of files, and with classical tools we can't manage those files so easily than with a document control tool.
You were telling me previously that you have to manage over 10,000 documents each time minimum, so that's a lot of documents. So I guess without this kind of collaboration tools, you cannot manage a project, or maybe you can, but it will take several more difficulties, yes. So as you already used some solutions, you already told us what are the benefits, but what can you say about some missing functionality or some features you would like to see on those solutions?
Yes, maybe about the comfort to use those kind of systems, because sometimes it's difficult to use some tools that are using web, because internet connection is not always good, for example on site, on construction sites, and this is very important to have tools that we can use fast. Then what is very important too is to have an access to the database extracts on Excel spreadsheets or other formats. But project managers are very happy to have this kind of tools that allows to see all the document references and which ones are to be commented and which ones are to be transmitted, and all these kind of things are very useful. And then yes, to have access to comfort.
Yes, maybe the user interface maybe
yes,
has to be
yes.
very easy to use, maybe depending of the different roles of people.
Yes, because in a project, people are not using the database the same way, so they need to have access to some information or other ones. So the tools maybe can have an interface very easy to use for each kind of profile. It means, for example, for when you access to the list of documents, that you can add or delete some columns, or you can add some information that you need in the interface.
As we see now more and more collaboration solution for engineering and construction being put in place for big projects, how do you see the future of your job and your relation with these tools?
Maybe in the future, the task will be more automatic. For example, to upload documents, a lot of documents, it will be maybe easier. So it will allow the document controller to focus on follow-up tasks that are very important. And I think this will be an advantage to upload documents faster.
Okay, so more easy to use solution and allow you to simply focus on your daily job. Anything you would like to add?
Yes, just maybe to sum up the advantages of the document controller tasks is that it avoids us to rework on previous revisions and to know that the last one is a good one, and to go faster in document search. This is very important too. And then it allows to have an history of all the documents produced during the project. Maybe it can be useful to compare the different revisions later, and also to use suppliers' files to be implemented, because we can work on collecting the supplier documents along the project, and then it makes easier the transmission to the client.
Okay, Cécile. So thank you very much for this interview that allow us to know more about what's a daily job of a document controller. And I think it might be very interesting to continue this discussion by opening a document controller community in our ECC website in order to allow different document controllers through the world to participate and share their experience and tips about document controller. Well, stay tuned for our next podcast, and until then, bye bye!